and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Werewolf by Night.
I'm Fred Durst.
I'm not.
And I'm Tim.
We're four guys of very different backgrounds brought together for our love of horror.
Guys, it's not really a werewolf.
Oh, I am really Fred Durst, though.
It's just
Because of horror movies. That's why we're here, and that's what we're going to talk about. So, this week was Dave's pick, and we're going to talk about that. Wolfman 2025.
I'm going to end it all. The NFL draft is going on as we are doing this. And I said, there's two players I would like to fall to the Bears. Defensive lineman from Michigan, Mason Graham. He went pick 5 to the Browns. And Ashton Genty, running back out of Boise State. And he went number 6 to the Raiders.
And there you have it.
So Dave's sad.
Dave's sad. So at this point, I hope we trade back a little bit and take a Tyler Warren or O'Marion Hampton.
What about a TJ Taktherius from Boise State?
I'm pissed off enough. I'm going to turn the goddamn off. Fuck the NFL draft.
Turn the goddamn
Damn,
off.
I don't get yeah. Fuck.
There you go.
I'll put it on my TV so you can try and watch it in the background.
I'll still get notifications on my watch all night.
I'll reverse Tim's camera so our mysterious black block tonight covers up even more of it. So you're like, fucking shit. But yeah, that's where we're at tonight. Where are you at? You're in our chat. You're in our chat, or you're watching on YouTube later, or listen on Spotify. Did you know you can watch on Spotify now? That is a thing you can do. And we are. Episodes back up on Spotify with video. So go check them out. Send them to your mom. Send them to your grandma. Send them to the new Pope.
Send them to your mom in case I forget to leave it on her nightstand. Just
Got their ass.
We need a good Gotham soundtrack for that when we get those.
okay. Let's try again.
Nightstand.
Send it to your mom in case I forget to leave it on her nightstand. Oh!
Not a rim shot. We need like a rave. Like we need lights and like a big. That's like a timeout.
Get John.
Yeah, I was gonna go like that. Just fucking click 7,000 air horns.
You know.
There you go.
And we're part of it. Without further ado, let's get to some news. Because I think tonight's episode is gonna be crazy. Here we are. As you can see, everything's
It's
changed.
not Werewolf by Night anymore. It's Newsboy by Night.
I was waiting. I felt it. Who wants to share some news first?
Swish. I got a little bit. I believe, and Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, that Chris's 2023 movie of the year was Prey, the Predator remake. Am I wrong? Am I right? Where are we staying on that, Chris? Can't hear it.
Whatever year that came out, absolutely, it was.
I think that was 23.
Yeah.
Oh, the writer director of that is got a new Predator movie coming out, Predator Badlands. The first thing I saw was just a picture of the Predator with his blue dreadlocks and people shitting on it, which, you know, I get it a little bit, but see if it makes sense in the context of the movie. And the trailer looks really good. Remember, I'm one and done Tony for the trailers now. So I watched the one trailer and I'm in. It looks good. There is a subtle alien reference. So I won't call that out directly. If you guys watched the Predator Badlands trailer this week, like I suggest, we can talk about it again next week. See if you catch the alien reference in the movie. It's pretty subtle. It's pretty kind of bam, hit you. It is in there. So, Zach Kreger, one of my favorite up and coming filmmakers. He's done great lately. Barbarian, Companion. His new movie has a trailer out. It's called Weapons. When we were talking pre-show, I accidentally called it Sinners. It's called Weapons, which is interesting because the teaser trailer consists of the story of synopsis of the movie. At 2:17 a.m., all of the children of this town sneak out of their homes and run off into the darkness, never to be seen. And so the trailer is full of creepy Ring doorbell footage of kids, and they even running funny. Like some of them are running with their arms out like this, like I don't know. It's just really creepy and surreal, running off into the darkness. And I do not need to see any more. I'm in. Like I said, one trailer and done, Tony, for me. So, and then I'll let Chris get all the news. Chris is the big news boy today. Everyone knows what a Jordan Peele stan I am. I made Jeff go to see Nope with me. I made Chris go to see Nope with me. I made Stella go to see Nope with me multiple times. I made Jackie make to go see Nope for me multiple times. I've probably seen Nope. What's it been out? 2 years? Tim? No, I didn't make him watch Nope with me. Tim, have you seen Nope yet?
It's really good.
Yeah, okay. I agree. But Jordan Peele's new movie is called Him. It seems to feature a young up-and-coming athlete getting ready for the NFL draft. And he's got an older mentor who's really pushing him to be all he can be. And even the start of the trailer seems like it's a sizzle reel, like you're making to advertise to teams. I want to be the number one pick. I go get the most money that way. So my agent has put this sizzle reel together. It's all sports and yay sports. And then there's a scene where he's doing the one-on-one drills and they crack heads with the guys, and then it goes to almost like the X-ray fatalities in Mortal Kombat, where you can see everybody's skull and his head snap back, and the music takes that dark turn, and it gets fucking bizarre from there. There's some Satan symbols and priests and devils, and Marlon Wayans yelling at him, "What will you sacrifice to be the best?" And finally this kid says, "Everything. Show me." And it ends, and I'm so fucking in. It looks like it looks really good. I like sports movies. You don't, spoiler alert for people who don't like sports movies are usually not about sports ball. In fact, the best sports movies are not about sports ball.
Hey, go
the
sports.
Are about relationships through the lens of sports ball. So this looks really like, what are they demanding of the kid? I mean, there's already a real feel sometimes like sports is modern day gladiators. They're sacrificing their bodies. The longevity of an NFL player is really not very long. By 30, a running back is considered over the hill. And offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they always have arthritis in their hands and their joints and their legs and their hips, and some of them can barely walk by the time they're 40 years old. So how much of their retirement do they actually get to enjoy? So it looks really good. I won't go on too much longer. I will give the floor.
I've heard that the main character's name is Jamar Javaris and Lamar.
I believe that is correct, and
Okay. Or they could be that, or Hingle McCringleberry.
Eagle McCringleberry is one of my favorite.
My favorite was Jack Marius Tricks.
There's also
Key and Pill, everybody. Get on the level.
Did Jasper Probencrux the third?
Yep.
Now,
my favorite part of that is out of all the teams, the East team and the West team, there's like one white guy, and he's like, "My name's Tom Smith."
Dan Smith. I'm looking at all the names right now.
What I have gathered from Jordan Peele so far, from all of his movies, it's like he's trying to form a sentence with his titles. So in 20 years, when he's maybe getting to the end of his career, you can put them all together and be like, "Nope, I told you us was breaking your balls, but fuck."
Get out, us nope them. Get out, us nope him.
He's
Maybe
got to
it's
get
an anagram. We have to.
He's
It's going
got
to give us
some
the
more work
words of the phrase. We have to put it in the right order, and it's going to summon the second coming of Thor.
So much like Jordan Peele. Actually, not at all. They're both black. They got that going for them, I guess. Is Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which is eating very good, getting big reviews, big boy reviews right now, and that's cool. When horror gets good reviews, that means good things for horror. But Ryan Coogler, me and you, buddy, we got a problem. Hands up for who's a fan of the X-Files here. Hands up. Anybody? We got a little unsureness here, but I'll go. I'm a solid hand up in the air. Ryan Coogler says that his very next thing after Sinners now will be the X-Files reboot. And come here, Ryan Coogler. Come here, get a little close. Do you want to go? Do you want to go with me? Do you want to fight me? Do you want some, Coogler?
What's with the animosity?
Why are you rebooting the X-Files?
Oh, okay.
Get out of here. This is how we go, Cougs. You want some? Come get some.
Some of those episodes are a little dated.
Everything's dated.
Mulder's like, they're like, it's the top secret government equipment. It's called a TiVo.
But on a lighter note,
we got it from the aliens. The aliens have left us this digital recording device called a DVR.
On a lighter tone, I have to say, Ryan Coogler and Zach Kreger, pretty much this entire time, I have got you both confused for each other. This entire time. Dave, sing Arms of an Angel. I guess we're even for now, Coog.
The arms of
You're safe.
an angel.
Now.
From the dirt of this hotel floor.
He's gonna learn all the words of the song.
What are you singing?
show it.
Are you singing fucking what's that?
I'm pretty sure
Bob
those are the
Seger?
lyrics.
Are you doing Bob Seger?
And I did the boot scooting boogie. To get over
And I like that
fucking-
old time rock and roll. Danger Zone.
So one other piece of news.
Danger Zone! Yeah!
I'm gonna mute Dave for the rest of the night.
Like a chicken!
Urban Legends is getting a reboot.
Good.
Of all things to get a reboot, it's one of them.
It is one of them. How do you feel about the OG? I like it. It's been a minute.
I saw it.
I might be clouded vision with the nostalgia drug, but I like Urban Legends.
I remember watching it back in the day when it first came out on VHS and was like, I like Scream too, but I think I could have wrote a better movie than this.
So you get Coogler and the Krieger kind of jumbled together. And I always get urban legends and disturbing behavior jumbled together.
I never watched Disturbing
because
Behavior.
they come out like just a couple months apart. I really like Disturbing Behavior. It's got some really cool themes in that movie. I might check that. I think I'm gonna stake my claim to doing that next season.
Which has what's his name? Madsen? Cyclops? The Fox Cyclops?
Yeah.
James Marsden?
James Marsden.
Who's back for whatever that new Marvel thing is. Along with a bunch of other Fox X-Men. Sorry, this is for my other podcast.
Can we get a House of M storyline?
Can we get new X-Men?
I like James Marsden.
God damn. It'd be great if he wasn't 76 years old.
He looks fantastic.
Let's get our new X-Men rolling, Feige, you fucking dumb piece of... You want to go, Feige? Fucking I'll fuck you up. I'm in a fighting mood, Dave. Tonight might be the night we meet in the streets. And we show each other how much we love each other. Because we talked about this, guys. Dave said he was going to beat me up. In the middle of a street.
Out of love.
Yeah.
If you don't want the 76 years old, who's going to be in the X-Men?
All new X-Men.
Jack Quaid? Who else? We did watch Novocaine, by the way. I should have brought that up.
Are we out of actors?
Jack Quaid?
Are we out of actors in the whole world?
I think we are.
Then let's
I think we are.
Then let's let it die.
Samara Weaving? Damn it. I missed a piece of news I meant to bring up. Okay, go ahead. Finish yours.
I'm good. I'm done.
Ready or Not 2 has announced some major castings. Samara Weaving is back. David Cronenberg is going to be in it, and he's in his own shroud, so he's decided he's going to try out probably for the X-Men. He's trying out. He's
only slightly younger than
James Martin.
Than Fripsha Johansson or whatever her name is, the Bond girl, Jean Grey. Flample Jansen.
Famke Janssen. Also in Ready or Not 2, Elijah Wood. Knew you would like that.
That's into it.
Yeah, Elijah Wood is national treasure.
Jeff, are you a Lord of the Rings fan by chance?
What?
Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Oh yeah.
Because of Elijah Wood, or along with?
I liked Elijah Wood before.
Okay. You're an OG.
What I like best about the Lord of the Rings trilogy is that in the course of 3 movies that are 9 hours long, they walk for 12 of those hours.
In the words of Randall from Clerks 2, even the fucking trees are walking in that movie.
Is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? They're literally traveling for 2 of the 2 hours of that movie.
The sign.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. That is the entire movie.
It's an allegory for the Odyssey.
It is a great movie. It is so fucking funny.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of news here. There is a new horror game coming out called SCP Control Air. It's from a small indie studio. If you guys have played SCP Laboratory or Backroom Laboratory or something like that, it's like a co-op-y sort of survival game, horror survival game. But this new one is really cool. SCP Control Air puts you in the shoes of Barry Giddings, a man who has volunteered for a classified experiment inside the Vortex Complex, a remote underground facility established during the Cold War. No one explains what's being tested, and no one tells you who's watching. Once inside the complex, you'll move through sealed chambers, completing immersive environmental puzzles and cognitive experiments, and uncovering the story through reports, surveillance, and what others left behind by others who were part of the same protocol. And the twist of all this, after finishing the game, players vote on what happens next through the game's official Discord, shaping the future of the story
I like that.
together in true SCP fashion. So it's going to be a fan-made horror game. So
That's
the devs are gonna do whatever the community says, which I think is a really cool little thing.
That reminds me of the old comics things where the fans, they'd be like, does Robin die?
Right, they send it in. I like that though, because, well, I like it and I hate it. It's like you're putting in free labor by voting on what should happen next, so you're making the perfect horror game and you don't have to write it yourself.
Yeah.
So,
but you're providing
no,
the platform in which to vote for it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, they're doing all the hard lifting, right? But
Right.
the story writing will be done by the fans. So I thought that was pretty cool. So SCP Control Air.
and we all know about SCP, right? Like SCP is brilliant.
Yeah.
With their whole like,
She's-
what would you
she's
call
that
it?
Senator from Georgia, right?
Somebody ban Dave real quick. The free. What do you call it? It's like a free collective of
Super
writers.
creepy pasta.
Yeah. And we should write our own, the four of us, or maybe that'd be a cool episode. All four of us come up with our own SCP entity to do.
Breaking news, guys. The Bears are on the clock.
But
what was your last piece of news, Dave? Said you forgot something.
ready or not?
Oh, it was the Rennie or Not too. I went ahead and threw
okay.
it in. Because I knew Chris would want to hear about Elijah Wood being in the movie, and then David Cronenberg as well.
The Shrouds, he's saying, may be his last movie. Surprise, surprise, he's over 80 years old. Who would have thought that? But
So I've unintentionally been being bombarded with clips here and there from the Shrouds, and I'm more in than I was, because at first I was like, this seems kind of boring as fuck, but I'm kind of more in now.
you gotta go in and just accept
You know
it.
me, I'll watch all the trailers. I'll watch all the trailers and dissect them forever. I turned over a new leaf. I'm watching the trailers again.
You're coming off as really Republican right now.
I asked him if he wanted my red hat earlier,
Trump
and he's
told
like,
me, watch the trailer.
but
He didn't say lower prices. He said ban certain vices.
speaking of Miami Vice, here's a clip.
This is advice.
I'll be quite honest, I don't know if the audio played for that or not, because I don't have the monitoring back at me.
I couldn't hear it. But I don't know if I'm supposed to hear it.
I don't know if I set it back up, because I lost the clip a week or two ago, and I don't know if I ever set that back up.
We're out of the newsroom now, so
We are out of the newsroom.
Probably got stolen.
that's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah. Tomorrow's problems today. God damn. If we had a graphic designer that could spin that, put that into our like HHP news of the week, and then be like, tomorrow's problems today, like as our, and then we do the like spin around like for like the news anchors being like, Chris, Dave.
Like a 90s montage.
I wanna be turn around and have just a gigantic fucking burrito in my face, like
Try it. Do it right now to try.
He just not going. Oh.
I don't have a burrito.
You mime it, dude. You're an actor.
Acting.
Act it. Don't make a burrito, Jesus
Okay.
Lord.
He actively has all the ingredients for a burrito at his desk at all times.
All right, now Jeff.
When I took my computer out of my backpack today to set up for the show tonight, I had a container of taco meat that's been in there about 2 weeks. I'm
Ugh.
basically an 8-year-old kid coming home from school.
That's rough, dog.
No odor. I splurged on the good containers. They're not Tupperware. They got glass. Don't hold any odor. They wash clean. They don't
No.
You don't wash them 100 times and they still look like fucking Donald Trump's
A
face.
long time ago, I was helping little child Tim clean out his bedroom. And I found a styrofoam container that I pulled out from under his bed and opened it up, which happened to be a not finished cheeseburger, maybe.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
And it emanated,
Poofed.
a cloud of decay.
It was raptured. There was nothing wrong with that burger. It just
It
meant the
was-
rapture.
I was, I don't know, 13 or 14 maybe. And I was like, I may die. Oh, that was fun. That reminded me of that. Anyways, let us now. No. Before we get off, we just started. Jeff, let's get your spin around for our news intro. What would yours be? This is a fun bonding exercise for the four of us. Your turn. Dave's doing a burrito. What is your move? You're spinning around.
Oh, wearing goofy glasses. I just somehow.
I like it. I like it.
Classic.
Love it.
Classic Jeff.
Tim, what would yours be?
Do I need props? Do I have to have
No,
props?
you don't have to
Or
have props.
to-
You could be it could be a pose. It could just be a good Ryan Gosling kind of smile or a smirk. It could be that.
Just unsettlingly cocked to the side. Not like a
That's
like that.
scary.
I'm old. I can't even turn my head to the side that much. This is all the range of motion my neck has.
I'm gonna base mine off Jeff's, and maybe I'll go before Jeff. That way, Jeff's hits harder. Maybe Jeff will be the last. So I'll do this, and then come around and go. And then Jeff will send it when he turns around, and it's like, plop, plop, plop.
Oh no, I got a better idea. Name, I always forget his name. Danny Trejo, the actor. I'm gonna hire him on like.
Oh, I'm offended. Don't tell me Danny Trejo, the actor. I know who fucking Danny Trejo is.
Okay, my bad. I'm just gonna hire him on what's that app where like,
Cameo.
you hire the actors? Yeah, I'm gonna get him to just do an intro, and then you're just gonna put my name under him, and he's gonna do the intro for me, and then it's just me in the cut.
That
when
would
we
be
get to the actual
fucking
podcast.
hilarious if we did an episode where we just got people off Cameo to be our intro for each of us. Danny
Yes.
Trejo. I would get like a OC girl. She'd be mine.
There you go.
I don't know who any of them are, but that'd be a fun change of pace. We need to talk about this movie. So I think we got to get into it. I
Back
feel
in
like
the box.
after dogfights, Jeff presents.
Surprise,
Jeff prevents.
surprise!
Jeff prevents.
Last,
It's not working. It's not working.
I got one last football interruption for the day, and then I'm done for the night. The Bears have, unless they trade back into the first round, this is their last only first round pick. In a surprise, the Bears have taken a tight end. Most people had them taking Tyler Warren from Penn State. They took Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. The dude is silky smooth. He is a silky smooth route runner. He's a big, tall, big-bodied boy, which is what you want in a tight end. He's a better blocker than Tyler Warren if he's not as fast, but he's a smooth route runner. Good on you, Bears. I like that. And Johnson runs a lot of 12 personnel. 12 personnel, of course, means one running back, two tight ends. I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in. And now I'm done. I'm done with the football, I promise, unless the Bears trade back into the first round.
So what's your back of the box synopsis of Wolfman? By the way, it took me forever to find this movie. I was like, Wolfman 2025, and like I kept getting different movies. It's Wolf Spaceman, just so everyone knows.
It is a
If you
wolf
wanna
from
go watch the
space.
movie,
It's fucking
It's
I
weird.
don't
Spaceman.
Hold on. I don't know that you watched the right movie. I don't remember seeing any spacemen.
That's what I watched too.
The Wolf Spaceman? I have
That was
not seen that, but I want to see it. That sounds like a heck of a movie.
It's Ghost from Mars, but with Wolfman instead of Ice Cube.
They're just dogs rooting in the garbage.
Speaking of
marching garbage,
give us your VHS box art box description, Dave.
What happens when, despite your best efforts, you become the thing you sought to protect your children from? And also, you got high and trippy and saw some really cool shit.
I was going to be a dad, but then I got high.
This movie just made me sad.
There's a lot of emotional weight. I feel like there's a lot of emotional weight to this movie. Morse,
Is this a confession?
We'll get it.
Xavier, I don't know.
I'll try not to trauma dump you this week. I trauma dumped a little last week.
Lee Winnell is an odd duck, in my opinion. So let's talk about the odd duck's work.
Let's talk about most people's first introduction was Saw.
Oh, I don't want to talk about his whole fucking career.
Saw 1, 2, and 3.
He is not career worthy.
Okay.
I'll say it. No, fuck no. Fuck no. No.
What the fuck?
No. You better drink
He has
that.
to drink to cope right now.
Oh my God. Lee Winnell. No.
Lee fucking Winnell.
Dude, those glasses are dope.
I got a
Pretty great.
3-pack off Amazon for $16.
Can you please send me that link? I want those glasses.
I absolutely will. Now, Dave, what I thought you were going to say was this started off on a bad foot because a lot of horror fans got the reveal of the monster in a way in a less than desirable costume through a less than desirable kind of reveal at Halloween Horror Nights, which is your stomping grounds. And we've talked about that several times.
I owe an apology to my fellow hosts on the show tonight, to the rabble, to anyone who listens at some point. I owe an apology because I posted some pictures and I meant to specifically send them to Chris and say, hey, we need to throw some pictures up. But the original last year at Halloween Horror Nights was they had a photo op that had the backdrop and it had the moon and the farmhouse and the wolf man and it had the woods. And then for a while they had this figure of the wolf man up there that looked like a geriatric Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
He was old and losing weight. He had protein, calorie malnutrition. He had a hunchback. He had gray hair, thinning. The statue was awful. And so right off the bat, everyone was shitting on the wolf design.
Oh, big.
Because it was awful.
I'm going to pull it up here in a second, if I can.
You need me to send it to you? I got it. So
I've got one that I pulled up on the internet. Let me, but yeah, I mean, the internet at large, I mean, the parts that I kind of revolve around, like the Reddit, things like that. I mean, this image popped up that I'm going to show. It's not Dave's image because I can't find that, but it's the same thing. People are like, what the fuck does this have to do with a wolf man? What is this?
It was so bad. They left the photo op up and took the figure down.
It's
so that
pretty...
they wouldn't get any more bad press out of it. It was awful.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm getting ready to switch over. And here he is. Jeff, Tim, I don't know if either one of you have seen this one before, but this is kind of horror internet fandom's first look at something that they...
It looks like Leprechaun grew up.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He's
Actually,
clearly got rickets.
it is.
And nobody gets rickets anymore.
Let's hold on. Let me
That's rough.
let me zoom in a little bit more on this guy. Okay.
It was really bad. It was really bad. Everybody, I'm pretty sure I said it was awful. I'm pretty sure, like, I couldn't even, you know how I am. Like, I don't want to shit on anybody's stuff, man. But even I was like, I don't think it's going to look like that in the finished product.
I mean, in a way,
so
it doesn't, but in a way, it does. It's kind of...
Yeah, the hands are eerily similar.
This looks like an early concept for what it became.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe this was the original design for the father with the white hair.
I could see that. It's kind of got the overalls thing on, so I could see that.
Yeah. Let's just start there. What did everybody think of the werewolf design? The final reveal of the wolf. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, wolf man, werewolf, whatever. Did you like the final look of what's his name? Blake.
Like,
were you cool with it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Jeff, what did you think of this makeup? This design of the new wolf?
It's definitely different. I mean, at least he looks all sweaty. He wasn't very hairy. It looks like he lost his hair.
Tim, what do you think?
But maybe that's an early form of the disease.
Good point.
Yeah, that's what I think. Is like the dad was definitely hairier. Spoiler alerts, guys. But he had time to regrow the hair, and I mean he had been out there for years and years and years.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
We should go full in on the spoiler alert before we piss somebody off. So spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
For
spoiler alert. If you're watching a show where we're getting drunk and talking about a fucking movie, and you think you're not going to get spoiled, please go take a cognitive test and then punch yourself in the dick.
Apparently, Chris and Dave are both fighting tonight. No, it was. I thought it was good. I liked these subtle animal features. Like it didn't overdo it. Right? Didn't make it full on Teen Wolf. It was more subtle than that. It didn't make it a full on wolf. So I liked the subtle sort of it was more of a mutation, right? So he kept most of his looks, but it was still so different that you were kind of creeped out by it. So
yeah, it was not Lon Chaney Jr. and with hair pasted to him. Dave, what did you think?
I want to hear what you think first, and then I'll give my opinion. And I've got a quote from Lee Winnell that may shine a little light here too.
I thought it was fine, if that was not the final stage of his transformation.
Okay. I
did not care. With that said, with that being his final transformation, it don't work for me. It don't work for me at all. There's cool things with the transformation where it's not an instantaneous thing where it takes a couple hours. That's kind of a different idea that I can get behind. But when he goes through the kind of last kind of big change where his fingernails come off and stuff, that it still didn't feel like that made any kind of a difference into a final reveal of the beast that's inside of him. I mean, it just wasn't what I would have liked to have seen myself and it doesn't have to be something old that we've seen. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they could have went with it. It just turns out it was not for me. Go ahead, my friend. Beard tug. We're still friends.
So,
We're still friends.
Yeah, no hard feelings. We can have a difference of opinion here. I
shut the
don't
fuck up.
believe this is the final form,
I'm joking.
and the I don't have the exact word for word quote from Lee Winnell, but the quote I did read kind of alluded to this. One, he specifically name dropped Rick Baker, and he said, like, I'm not doing Rick Baker,
Right.
because you can't top what Rick Baker did. Like, I'm not even trying that. He said, I thought it would be more interesting if it was a longer change, but a permanent change. So I think the idea was, this is not a werewolf by night situation. You turn into the wolf and you stay that way. It's a one way change. And that the longer you go, the more beast-like you are. I don't know if that means weeks. The creature in the open, when Blake is with his dad, Grant Lovell, Grant says it looked like a bear. He told his son it was a bear. I think he, obviously, because of what he was saying on the radio, he knew that wasn't true, but it did look even more beastly than what Grant looks at the end of the movie, what Dad looks at the end of the movie. So, right. I do think it is a part of a long-term change.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Short, like, I'm going to come. It kind of fits also with Lee Winnell's earlier work with the Invisible Man.
Dave said, Dave, you said, I'm going to come.
I'm going to come, yeah. That's how good this movie is.
Me and Tim picked up on it. That was the most realistic distance thing.
What you want to hear.
We were like, did you hear that? And I was like, I fucking heard that.
You guys are clearly just hearing what you want to hear. If you look at Lee Winnell's work with the Invisible Man, that is a much more grounded in modern tech version of the Invisible Man, and I think that's kind of what he's going for here. Is a more, it's not the same werewolf story that we've been telling since 1934 with the original Wolfman, which I did watch this week. It's not even the retelling from 2013 with that Guillermo del Toro did, which I watched this week. It's its own thing, man, with modern sensibilities and a more grounded reality. It's a disease. It's a disease process. And even the disease process is not what the ultimate theme is. It's not the body turning against you in the form of a disease. It's deeper than that even, but we can talk about that. I like the design. I like what they did and how those changes come about subtly. He's losing his teeth, the skin. He loses his hair because human hair, spoiler alert, it's not like dogs are rocking around covered in human hair. Their hair is fundamentally different. So he's losing his human hair to be replaced with fur. So I think
is that what's happening to me?
That is directly
all this fucking garbage hair that's falling out. I'm a werewolf.
I'm just waiting for it to be replaced with fur.
That's why you want to fight me. That's fucked up, Dave. Why wouldn't you just tell me I'm a werewolf? Like a real friend. Jeff told me. He texted me. Like, Chris, I think you're a werewolf. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll tell you next week. Fucking shit. Is that me? I gotta go. That was a good setup. Well, since we're going to talk about the story next, it feels like we're going to talk about the story next. I want to go first here and kind of say that to me, and you guys can state your piece after this. Don't come at me, bro. but I feel like this movie tried to be like 5 or 6 different movies at once, and because of that, failed at being a good movie at all. It wants to be this like, oh, we got subtext, man, the hereditary and father and son thing, and then the daughter and mother. That did nothing for me. That felt so added on to me. And then same time, it wants to be like this tense, suspenseful thing, but it doesn't build to those moments for me to get there, because at the same time as that, it wants to be a thing that jumps into the horror as soon as it can. Like they're going up to the father's cabin in this U-Haul. They don't even make it to the driveway before the whole thing starts, which is an interesting idea, sure, but it's fighting against itself with that idea. There's 3 right there. Another thing is that there was a clear influence from Cronenberg with The Fly, especially some of that makeup is bigly Brundlefly, bigly, which is cool. I think that's an interesting take to do on a wolf. But you got all these other things that you're fighting against, in my opinion, and I just don't think to me, it felt like it was trying too much, and it didn't do it.
I can't believe correct me, because I do have bad hearing sometimes. Did I hear somebody complain that it gets to the action too well and too quickly? Because I like that. Side note, did you notice the name of the moving truck? It's Pierce Moving, which is a direct nod to Jack Pierce, the original Universal Monsters makeup guy. Jack Pierce. So.
Oh, good. That changes my whole opinion. It's a good thing you brought that up.
Yeah, I think it should. But it jumps into the action. Yeah, what? How much did you want it to drag on? I want to jump into the action.
They were trying to build suspense later on. It's like you've already tried to jump into the action to get it going, and now you're being like, oh, we're suspenseful now. Like, it doesn't, you want to be a slow burn at the same time that you want to be this like turn to 11 popcorn movie. I don't think it did it. Either way.
It builds suspense because we see the viciousness of the beast. We know what this beast is capable at this point. And so we know there's a real sense of danger for Blake and his family. Ginger and Charlotte. And so there's a real sense of danger. So they get to the farmhouse, we're safe. Then we're not safe. And there are, this is where you can call it daddy issues. But family is what traumatizes us. Family is what shapes us. If it wasn't family, it wouldn't be traumatizing to us, because we wouldn't give a fuck about their opinion or about their behaviors. But when it's family, it shapes us and it affects us.
I think you can be shaped without family as well. You're not working with me on that.
What's that?
I think you can be shaped by not family as well. What are you? You're not jiving with that.
I think so, but not the way family shapes you. You look at how young Blake is raised. That the bugle to wake up and get your pack. We're leaving at 0900 or whatever. This rigid military lifestyle. And I think most of us. I think the point is, Jack's a little bit of a hard ass and not a good father, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I think Jack's doing the best he can do. With the death's head mushroom, sure, he's emotional and maybe not in control of his emotion very well, so he doesn't teach emotional control to his son very well. But clearly he doesn't want Blake to get hurt. Don't eat those fucking death head mushrooms or you'll be dead unless somebody's got a spare liver lying around. Like, what does he tell Jack or Blake when they see the beast? You get into the treehouse. He doesn't run for himself. He doesn't leave his kid. No, his first priority is protecting his kid. And so he's doing the best he can. It's not easy being a fucking parent. And he says, and the quote later on is, sometimes when you're daddy, you're so scared of your kids getting scars, you become the thing that scars them. And this is theme A of the movie. What happens when we try so hard to protect somebody that we become the thing that fucks them up? And I think that's the theme of the movie, and I think that's a real theme. It's hard as a parent. He's moved to San Francisco. He's not a survivalist. He is as integrated in society as he can be. He's a fucking writer. He's raising his kid.
Okay, so quick question, quick point to that. Later in the movie, he's wearing and I don't remember him changing shirts, but maybe he did. He's wearing a shirt that says USMC, which
I think it's his dad's.
Does he change shirts at some point in the movie?
I don't think it specifically shows it, but remember, his shirt was bloodied and tore, and Charlotte dresses him up, and they didn't bring they didn't have time to get the luggage out of the suitcase, so I'm assuming he just threw something on that was in the closet. So
I didn't scroll back, but when I saw the USMC, I was like, wait, did he join the Marines? Like, is that how he got away from his dad? Like, when he turned 18, he joined the Marines and just, like, got out that way? But I wasn't sure. But,
and you know, when he finds out his dad's dead, what does he say? He says, it's funny, I haven't talked to him so long, and now that he's gone, I wish I had. And trust me, I'm feeling this right now. Here comes the trauma dump, guys. Because of such differences in values that are expressed through our political opinions, I find it hard to communicate with my father. But I know I have a limited amount of time. And I love him. I want to communicate. And this is why I say to you, I'm saying it here on the air, Tim, Jackie, Matt, and this extends to your loved ones, to Orion, to Chris, to Jeff, anyone who loves me and cares about me. I'm already old and fucking crusty. When I get older and crustier, and I start losing my mind a little bit, and if I come up with political opinions that are run counter to who I am as a person, seems, because I like to think I'm a loving, caring person, just tell me that. Just tell me that. If Jackie or Matt or you or Orion come to me in 20 years and say, Dad, Grandpa, please, for me, give up your opinions and do this for me. You guys are the future, and I hope I listen to you with my whole heart, because that relationship is more important than voting for some fucking broke dick piece of shit. Whether it's a Democrat broke dick piece of shit or it's Trump running for his 10th consecutive term.
There's a brain in a jar.
This is the slowest burn of a movie I've ever heard, Dave. And you were just talking about how you were happy it was into it fast. Which way is it?
No, so my whole thing.
I'm happy with that. The action that, like, even without that theme, I'm very happy with this movie. But those themes are hit me, and I love it. I like it.
Yeah,
this movie feels very cathartic to me.
Yeah, this movie is, there's like no, like, once the infection starts, there's like no points of levity. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I know that's, you know, that's pretty good horror. But yeah, I will say, like, I liked the slow burn after the initial encounter. I thought that was cool because they're kind of playing out the whole sort of demon within, you know, that whole storyline. I really, this goes back to my whole efficiency of violence mentality here.
I had that in
The
my notes.
Wolfman could have broken any of those fucking windows and gotten that house. Like I don't understand what took it so fucking long to try to do anything. It
Almost
doesn't
like it
make
wasn't-
that doesn't make sense to me.
I suggest a part of him knew this is my house.
I mean, potentially, and the only time he attacked is through the
that's why-
doggy door, right? So,
And that's exactly why I think Blake has been out of this house for so long. He did not think about the doggy door, but that's why the wolf knew it was there. His dad beast knew it was there because this is his house. He knows this house inside out, as a survivalist would.
yeah, no, and that's all well and good. I do want to say, during the whole Demon Within storyline in this movie, the cuts back and forth between his perception and real life were so fucking cool. I really, really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool.
I liked all the wolf perception. Jeff, I want to get your take here. The one that was really the best for me, and Chris, I want your opinion too. Gotcha. When they switch, so Charlotte's talking to him while he's laying on the couch, and he's starting to change, and she's talking to him. He's mumbling back. She can't understand him. He can't understand her, and the camera slides around, and the colors change, and the verbalization changes, and you hear hymns clearly, and now she's garbled, and then it switches back. For sheer cinematography, for sheer creativeness, that scene blew me the fuck away. No? Okay.
How could you not like that?
The first time it happened, I was like, that's cool. But then they drove it into the ground, and it became something that ruined the movie for me. Another thing that ruined the movie for me. It goes hand in hand with other pieces, but yeah, Wolf Vision.
I loved it, and it fuels a theory I have about the aggressiveness.
Jeff, we need Jeff in this. What'd you think of the whole? What'd you think of the whole thing?
Yeah, let's go, Jeff. Yeah.
I liked it. I just don't understand why it looked kind of like Stranger Things upside down, like the little lights floating around. But other than that, I thought it was pretty cool that you could see the difference between like how they can't understand each other.
I think they were using dog colorblind colors.
I think you are correct.
I think
So
that's why it looked different.
You can see like there's not as many colors. Instead, you get shades of brightness of the same color. So I do think that is that wolf vision for a reason. It's done a little bit differently later on when he goes outside and the trees. And if you watch it, and I don't know how many times you watched it, but every time I watch it, the second, third time I saw it, it seemed more pronounced. Not only do the trees seem so big and bright, and they look like they are breathing. Everything seems alive, and I think that the wolf vision is so confusing to what is essentially a human brain that it is driving this intense fear, which is driving the aggressiveness. Why does Blake lose his temper with Ginger early when she's walking on the little things on the traffic, and he tells her to jump down and she bumps somebody, and he just... I understand you're trying to correct your kids so they keep themselves safe, but he goes a little bit over the top, a little bit of maybe... I don't even want to say it's really emotional control problem, but it's a little over the top, his reaction. And it's fear-based because he's trying to protect her. And he's afraid that he won't be able to, or that something will happen. And he's not afraid because of the consequence to himself. He's afraid because this is somebody he loves. Now, I think the wolf vision is different. It's not a protective fear, but I think they're afraid, which inspires that aggressiveness.
The one thing I did like about the wolf's senses in general, when he hears the spider crawling on the wall, which by God, that's the largest fucking spider I've ever seen. Those little footsteps, those are completely silent in real life, right? Like you can't hear those at all. But he hears them as like hammering. And it's like, but he can't hear them breathing down. Like a human breathing, I have to think is louder. It'd sound like a fucking chainsaw going off than a spider walking on the wall. So it seemed very selective, and I know they were going for like just a reveal of like his senses are being heightened. I get that. That's cool. And maybe his senses are only towards threats. Maybe he can tune out what he knows is not a problem, right? They don't go into that lore, so I can't really make that assumption. I mean, I can make that assumption, but I can't, say it with a guarantee. But when I saw that, I was like, how does he not hear them breathing downstairs? And it just doesn't sound like a fucking chainsaw going off constantly. So that was weird for me. I didn't like that reveal. The scene was cool and the spider was creepy. But looking at it from like a lore standpoint, I was like, this kind of breaks this for me right now. So
to stay on the wolf senses, at the end of the barn, you get the payoff, right? They can't see him, but she's afraid, but she stays calm and collected. She sets up the trap. She's thinking, and she can't see him coming, but he can see her, and he's advancing. And then steps in the trap, and it's on. So it kind of pays off because his senses are heightened, but he's focused at that point on Ginger and on Charlotte, and so he doesn't see the inanimate threat that's waiting for him, which is very true about fear. We can be so over sensitized to fear. I'm afraid of trans kids, and there's 12 in the whole fucking country.
There's 12.
I mean, that's but I don't think we want to turn this into a fucking political podcast in any way, but it's just comes up a lot because these themes, when we strip, I know we feel strongly a certain way. Fear should not control us. We're basically Jedi. We don't feel fear.
Jedi are toxic masculinity. We're not Jedi.
But Jedi are not supposed to feel fear or emotion, which is too much, because they do feel fear,
right?
And they
emotion.
They're not in touch with it, so they're trying to put it down. But
yeah, it's not.
Jedi
are not the good guys. Well, they're the good guys, but they're misguided.
Side note, real quick, with that spider. So this movie was shot in New Zealand, and New Zealand is a large island. It's not that there's not spiders on islands, but New Zealand there's spiders on every continent except Antarctica, to my knowledge. That spider, though, I did read, had to be imported from Australia for that scene.
That seems legit.
Yes.
Fun fact, there are no snakes on Hawaii. They don't have snakes.
Yep.
There you go.
Neither does Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So cool little fact. The moving truck, as long as we're talking about cool movie facts, the moving truck had to be imported from the United States. But they had to alter it for the movie because the similar movie trucks in New Zealand all have the driver's side on the wrong side of the truck.
Right.
To be the American Northwest. So they had to import a truck, and then they still had to take the weight off of it and fix it so they can wreck it for this shot. But it was a dry season. They were in drought conditions, so they had to do all those modifications without grinding or welding any metal. So
just a bunch of zip ties. Just a bunch of fucking zip ties everywhere.
Well, they could cut metal. They couldn't grind metal because of the sparks involved. So
I wanted to say one thing about the wolf vision before we go too far past it.
You look like those glasses give you wolf vision.
I feel like a alpha. No, I don't. So I do feel a little bit teen wolfy for a 42-year-old man. This character, Whorehouse Chris, just will keep evolving each week with props. If you don't start getting in here and subscribing, favoriting, liking, Jeff knows. Jeff fucking knows, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, but Wolf Vision,
Jeff will come to your house.
He'll make you he'll sew the glasses onto your fucking face.
Shit. Jeff, you sick fuck. I love it.
Okay. So to me, the Wolf Vision started off cool. It was a cool idea, but then it's just done too much. It's done too much for me. And then by the end of it, like, I mean, it's an interesting idea. Like, he's not seeing his wife and daughter as a human does. He's not hearing them as a human does. That's an interesting touch. I like the idea of it. I don't love the execution of it. By the end of it, though, it feels like it explains away his actions in a way. Like, he's attacking his wife and kid, but this, you know, he doesn't know it's his wife and kid anymore. So that, you know, is it that bad? Is it really that bad? He doesn't know any better. And I just don't like that. It just doesn't, it feels like it smooths out some of the Wolfman attacking his own family to me. And I'd rather it just be more primal and he's fucking after him. But
I could have done without. I thought it was a little gut-wrenching, like when Ginger says, who's named in part after the movie Ginger Snaps, another werewolf movie.
Great one. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a great one. But when she says, there's the dog barking because who let the dogs out? When she says, Mom, he just wants it to be over. So it's very gut-wrenching to me, but also I will concede this point. I did not. He's aggressive and he's animalistic and he's turning. What made him change his mind to the end of, I'm just gonna give up and I just want to end this fight. So I agree. I think it would have been a better payoff if it was, you know, not he was giving up when he come over. It could have still had the same, but just don't linger. He comes up, he gets shot, and then maybe when he's dying, Ginger can say, he's not mad, Mom. He's glad it's over, or some shit like that. You know, yeah. What does Jeff and Tim think about that?
Good episode. We'll catch you guys next time.
Get your. Don't end on me agreeing with you. That's blasphemous.
That's genius.
You go ahead, Jeff.
Nah, it's what I was expecting it to end kind of like where they always do that with, you know, main characters. It's like, oh, the preacher or whatever has a heart at the end.
Hooker with the heart of gold.
Yep.
I did not. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I felt that it was a little.
You loved it.
I felt it was a little pretentious in a lot of the themes, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. But at the end, I really enjoyed the wolf vision scenes. They may have been slightly overdone, but they were probably my favorite parts of the film. The hell is that? Dave, are you okay? And Dave's dead. But I did.
Me and Jeff are so
he's
gone.
laying there after being shot, and you get it from his point of view, and all of a sudden he's seeing clearly again on his deathbed. And that's, at least that's how I took the his final scene. He could see the trees and the sky and everything in human color. But that was kind of weird. And then it also gave me some levity, me personally, some levity, because then I was like, well, that's probably what his dad saw when he was dying. He got to see his boy again right before he died, because apparently they get to see in their human form again, you know, kind of. So I took some solace in that. So the ending wasn't a huge fan of the ending. Okay. Woo! So this movie, like, it's really
Trauma dump on us, boy. Trauma dump. Let's do it.
It's really pretentious.
While you're doing that, I'm Seagram's strawberry lemonade.
There you go. It's really it feels pretentious to me, because they're definitely doing the whole, like, you know, you're becoming your father. They do that whole shtick. You know, they
real thing,
do
man.
it.
It's a real thing.
It is.
Yeah, they do the foreshadow of him yelling at his kid and losing his temper, and then he's like, I don't want to be like that, and I thought that was beautiful. You know, there's
it's beautiful.
There's the strain between the father and the son. There's the strain between the husband and the wife. There's this anchor that is the daughter of the whole story. She's the anchor of the whole story. If there was no daughter in this movie, it wouldn't have worked at all, in my opinion. So that was all cool, but like they throw on the Wolfman heavy-handedly in the beginning. You see the first kill, and the first kill is really weird. Like you're, and then like he like disembowels him.
You're talking about the neighbor that they meet as
yes,
yeah.
They do like the and then you look down and he has blood on his shirt, but he's not really disemboweled or dead yet, and then he gets dragged off.
I thought that whole, kind of the whole thing, like, so he falls out, the neighbor, the window smashing part, you know, with Blake still in the driver's seat. It seems, I don't like, maybe they shot it kind of wrongly for my brain to process it right. But like,
when I didn't see him get scratched.
Yeah, it felt like the glass like hit him, and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, brother. I still giving it a shot at this point, but that whole part I felt like could have been a little bit like rewritten and made better. Out. Yeah. Why is it in a tree? That didn't do anything for me.
They could have scratched him when he reached out for the tape door, had him get scratched, and then close the door.
Does a scratch make a werewolf? A bite. They should have been a bite, man.
Should have been a bite. And to jump scare you. And it also gave you a little bit of, did he get scratched, or is it the glass, and a little bit of what happened there?
It gives you a little bit of doubt. But the themes can, like,
you knew.
Yeah, but
you didn't have a question. Don't pretend you did. You knew it was a werewolf scratch. You knew.
They go into the whole, like,
Def knew.
The daughter being the anchor thing, and like, it kept happening and kept happening and kept happening, and he became super animalistic, but he was still protecting them, which I understood, but then like it seemed like he couldn't understand anything, and he was like on a deathbed, but then all of a sudden he's running through the field with them and getting in the truck and like doing all this shit, and it seemed really like, at that point I was really in the Harry and the Hendersons vibe. I was like, they're just like leading this fucking thing around and like,
get out of here. I love you. Get out of here.
It's just doing things, and I didn't love that. Like, I didn't love him sitting in the truck and not like, if he's gonna protect his family, he's gonna like sit outside and listen for this fucking thing to show up. Like, there was just a lot of things that were just really not copacetic for me.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because he's not thinking, he's not in dad mode, he's in wolf mode, so he's scared. A dog knows about 100 words, so he's can know some things that are being said, but maybe he doesn't know everything. You look at his eyes, especially even after that first time he goes out, blacks out, and wakes up. He looks scared, and so he's still overcome with the fear. The transformation is still new. He's not stood up to the fear yet. When they're in that truck, did you notice the silhouette of the person? You just get a glimpse of color as somebody walks behind the back window behind him. Did you catch that? That was a total accident. That was a crew member who accidentally walked behind the shot there, and they kept it in because they thought it contributed to it. And I liked it. I thought it was the wolf, the dad wolf coming around or something going on. It increased my fear of what was about to happen, even though that shot itself was a little bit ruined by the trailer. That's why I'm one trailer Tony, and I don't watch a lot of trailers anymore. I'm just one fucking trailer. If I'm in, I'm in after one fucking trailer. One trailer Tony. That's what they called me back in the school days.
They did. They'd let me see the certificate. It was weird.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it. I think it works. Like I said, because he's scared, because he's not stood up to that fear yet, and then when they're on top of the greenhouse thing, and he's like, run for the house, I'm going to distract him, and he takes off. Like, that's the first time where he is kind of standing up. Is that symbolic of him standing up to his father? Where it seems like he just ran away from home at some point. He just left things unfinished, and so that's his first step, standing up to his dad.
I gotta say,
I don't mind that.
Once they fought, I was like, I cannot believe I'm watching two werewolves fight again. Are we really doing this fucking again?
I got that in
the
my
next
notes.
thing named Wolfman, and we're having another werewolf fight. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then when the dad's lying there dying, I'm like, if he turns back into a human, I'm gonna slit my fucking head off my fucking shoulders.
Yeah, I did not want to see that. I did not want to see that, and you did not see that.
Thank God. I can give him credit for that, because I was like, if he turns back into an old man, I'm going to run away from all humans for the rest of my fucking life, because, oh my God, this is Twilight. It didn't. It thankfully didn't.
Like two werewolves fighting, I disagree. I don't think you.
We've already seen it.
I think you do like two werewolves fighting, and I got 6 words that tells me you do like werewolves fighting. Spader v. Nicholson in the movie Wolf.
Yeah, well, I don't need a remake of Wolf.
No, this is better. The fight is so much better. It's so much visceral. And he would not have beat his dad if it wasn't for he's grounded with family. He has a better emotional connection with his family. And that's what gave him the strength to overcome his dad, overcome his fear.
That's why I support nuclear weapons, because if we had dropped a nuke on this whole fucking forest, we'd have been better off.
It's going well, to be sure. I have something I want to bring up. So
okay,
let's talk about gore effects. I specifically wrote 6 different gore effects down. So I know we talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to name them all, and then you kind of tell me what you thought about them. Blake's arm, the final look of the beasts, the wolf vision. I don't know, that's gore, but more effects. The fingernails breaking, where he vomits the blood and chewing off his foot. Overall, the gore, just judging on those gore effects, where do you rate this? How do you like this movie? Just on the gore effects. Maybe you don't like the story. How do you like the gore effects? Jeff, you've been quiet for a minute. Let me know, man. Hit me. Tell me you like it, man. Tell me you like it.
Fight him in the streets, Jeff.
Piercing my brain.
The gore effects. Gore effects were awesome.
Thank you. See, Jeff don't want me to die.
his arm. I mean, it gets infected, and he starts chewing on it.
Yes.
So I
That
thought
was
All practical effects. All practical effects, might I add.
the infected arm looked cool. I thought the actual gore of him chewing on it and his leg, it was kind of like behind the curtain. Like you didn't really see it. Like I can do this.
Yeah,
I mean that's as much gore as you got.
Him was chewing his arm off.
Yeah, exactly.
that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but that was definitely like behind the curtain. But I did the look of the infected arm was really cool. Where I thought they kind of stumbled with the gore effects was when the bear trap clamped down, you got nothing. Like you got nothing from that. You just saw it on the leg.
Fair, right.
There was nothing else really to it. There was no blood going down his leg, nothing like that.
What
Like,
about the
it was just, like,
chewing of the
on
leg?
his leg?
What about the chewing of the leg afterwards? How did everybody feel
That was
about
cool. I liked. Again, you're getting the idea of what's happening. They're not showing you specifically what's happening, which is cool. Like that's fine.
And clearly an Easter egg to Saw. Oh, just to bring the Easter eggs full circle. So,
But yeah, the gore was fine. I really liked the look of the infected arm. That was cool. And
Chris,
the
what do you
fingernails
think?
popping off fucking bugged me to my fucking core. Oh damn, that was gross.
Speaking of which, I just feel like, you know, like The Substance, not to harp on and on again, but a movie from 30 years
to
ago
harp on a great movie.
did it better already. The fingernails, Goldblum, the teeth, you know, all that. Not to say other people can't do it, pay homage to it. It was okay in this. Like some of that was okay. I liked the fingernails and the teeth. Like those moments were okay. The gnawing I thought was cool. You know, like when he jumps over into the corner and he's like fucking I was like, that's gnarly. That's cool. That may be my favorite moment in the movie, actually. When he gnaws off his own leg, I was like, touch too much. That's not a, no.
That is
I felt
something
like that
that
was-
dogs do in the wild. That's why they kind of think showed that is something dogs are well known for. Like there's actually Jen had a dog when she was a kid that got hit by a car, and then she got nerve damage in one of her legs, and she chewed off that leg because she couldn't feel it anymore.
Because she was a badass.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
that too.
That is a badass move, but they could have put it in a badass movie, but they put it in this one. I did not like the arm effect. When she reveals it, I thought that was so like plasticky, and it just didn't. It just looked like an appliance. I was like, this ain't for. That's kind of when I was like, I could be pooping right now. See, Jeff, sometimes I just say things to see if Jeff will laugh, and that was one of them. Thank you, Jeff.
Everybody likes to poop. I mean, who don't like to
But
poop?
what did you think about them, Dave? What did you think about them? I have an idea.
I liked them. I liked them.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, no, I liked them all throughout. I know that's hard to believe. I liked the gore effects. I thought it was the proper color and viscosity of blood. If anything, the
like
vomiting
Valvoline.
of blood was the vomiting of blood was a little bit too bright. Digested blood is a dark brown color, and it gets very fluid with granules. Digested blood becomes very coffee groundy.
You ever popped a fat tick? Ooh, that's dark.
Popped a fat. Yeah.
Ooh, that's dark. A fat tick. Tick, not dick. Tick.
Tick. I got you.
Yeah, tickle.
Yeah, no,
every time you guys say dick now, I just think of fried berry.
I got all the dogs, man. I got to pull ticks off these fucking dogs all summer long.
I just did that. That's why That's why it's so fresh in my brain.
Yeah, it's gnarly. That's gnarly.
Yeah.
I got a question. One thing, and I just was kicking this around for a minute in my head, but it did make me think. Who is the protagonist of this movie? And it doesn't really mean a whole lot. But is Blake the protagonist or is Charlotte the protagonist?
It's a good question.
Clearly, like the Wolfman, you think, okay, Blake is the Wolfman, so he's the protagonist. But the Blob's not the protagonist, but he's got the billing on the movie.
We don't get his transformation into the Blob. We're not like watching the cellular construction of a creature.
No, but the protagonists are the people fighting against. So the name of the movie is named after the antagonist, and I just think it does change the theme of the movie just ever so slightly, because Blake's theme, if Blake is the protagonist, this movie is about, like I said, what happens when we are so afraid of our kids getting hurt that we are the ones who hurt them. I think that's a very legitimate, very human thing. You know, Jeff, your kids are a little bit older, starting to get into those teenage years. For me, when the boys especially started getting older, but especially Andy, Jackie, really all the kids, I'm not a sexist guy, it's this dual drive. I want you to be self-sufficient and get out in the world and put yourself out there. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to spread your fucking wings and fly. But also, the world's a fucking scary place, man, and I want you to just fucking keep you tight and protect you. And it's this, you want both for your kids, and it's a tough finding that balance.
So what are you asking, Jeff?
I mean, do you feel that with Miles? You know, he's a teenager, and he's a whole teenager. He's getting so goddamn tall, and he's got this aloofness that teenagers get of, I'm too cool to care about anything.
Yeah.
And clearly I don't see him as much as you did. I saw him last Friday. I saw the kids last Friday. Or I should say the Easter Bunny saw the kids last Friday. But you know, he's got this real aloofness to him. He's such a big guy now. I mean, obviously tall and lanky, but he's tall. He's a growing man.
Yeah.
And do you feel that you want him to get out there and put himself out there and go after things and not just hang out in a room in front of a screen, but also I want to keep you protected, little baby boy, forever.
Right. What all parents usually want to do with their kids. You know, they have to go out in the world and they have to make mistakes and they have to get hurt, but you don't want them to. You want to hurt for them.
Profound statement, Jeff. That was man of few words, but you want to hurt for them. That's good shit, man.
Very, very poignant, and I think that's Blake's theme. But if you're too overprotective, you're become the thing that hurts them. If you're too afraid, you're the thing that hurts them. And Charlotte's theme, she clearly loves Blake and Blake and Break, yeah, Break. Clearly, Break and Bringer. There's some tension in the family, right? He's out of work. She's working. So it's hard. That's already hard. As modern society as you are, as I'm a very modern guy, modern sensibilities. I love, my strong, independent woman as a wife. And yet, I don't want her making more money than me. I'm happy if she does. She can make all the money. I'll be a stay-at-home sugar, and enjoy that sugar mama. But also I don't want her. I'm the man. So that's real.
There's also the weird parent jealousy that she feels, because when the Ginger gets scared or whatever, like, she runs for daddy, right? And they cut to her very specifically kind of show that jealousy, like why didn't she run to me, or
Right.
like why doesn't she feel safe with me? And then Charlotte like goes above and beyond in this movie quite a few times, and really shows that she is a protector. Like she can handle her shit, and she is cool under pressure. So
We have flipped gender roles.
yeah, for sure we do in this movie. And I think, when back to your protagonist comment, I think the protagonist switches in this movie. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen in movies. Star Wars is pretty famous for this, right? Like episode 5 and episode 6 specifically, like you have the Han Solo and Leia protagonist in episode 6. Then you have the Luke protagonist. There's multiple protagonists, and they have their own stories kind of split in the movie.
The Ewoks in episode 6 really are the heroes of the movie.
I don't disagree. Ewoks are fucking dope. Anyone who shits on Ewoks are stupid.
Man, I loved fucking
Racist.
People do shit on the Ewoks these days. I love the Ewoks, man.
And anyone who don't shit on Jar Jar Binks either. He's a fine character.
You mean Sith Lord Jar Jar
Yes,
Binks?
I don't buy into that whole business.
I don't buy into that theory either.
Thank God.
No, I think that was the way he was going, though. I think he was going to lean into that. And
Tim, could I stop this movie stream?
Old George Lucas got a little trigger shy. No. Maybe his Viagra didn't come in that week. He got a little trigger shy, and he backed off for episodes 2 and 3. But I think there's just too much.
I don't.
No, there's not.
I don't. I am so happy that Tim agrees with me on this. Jeff, how do you feel about Jar Jar Binks being a Sith Lord?
I mean, it would have been better for his character to.
Have you seen some of the evidence? You've seen some of the evidence.
You can make
he seems like a bumbling fool, but really he's not. And
that's
like only a real wielder of the Force. The Force works in his favor so much. He is clearly able to manipulate the Force.
Yeah. Like you've manipulated this movie to make it sound like it's worth watching.
Jar Jar Binks is the Mr. Magoo of Star Wars. It seems like he knows what he's doing, but it's just all luck.
He'd come on his belly and be like, "What, Misa? What's that?"
It takes a lot of work to make it look like you don't.
But
okay.
I will say this movie would have been better if Jar Jar Binks was in it. So
I don't know if I disagree. I'm gonna have to think about that. The last thing I want to bring up before we get to our overall opinions, for me, you guys may have some other spots you want to bring up, but for me, the last thing I want to bring up is that ending shot, like what Dave is showing us, his back right now, like he's turning his back to us. His
you mean
burrito.
The last of a shot.
His burrito. Burrito Dave, they called him once. What was that last shot? This isn't shitting on any rest of the movie. Nothing to do with the story. Nothing. Just this shot was so dumb.
It was a callback to the beginning.
They were in the woods. They were in the woods near a fucking road. They went off the road like a little bit, but no. Now we're in front of fucking mountains and like a vast open field. Why wouldn't you follow the road, Charlotte? What? Do you not know how the road, Charlotte? Are you new here, Charlotte? You fucking dumb shit. And then we turn the camera and see the women's point of view, and it's like the world's open to them now. I'm like, they were on the fucking, this is the most pretentious bullshit. I could have shit in a toilet and filmed the turn and been like, imagine male birth.
Maybe you need to
like
quit
this.
Smoking the grass and touch some.
Yeah, I could have touched some grass. I could have touched some grass while my other foot was still on the fucking road that I went in on. I'm not walking through a field while the road was way over here and going back to civilization. That's how you get fucking lost forever. And they're like, we never could find Charlotte and whatever the child's name was.
I feel sorry for you, Chris. Just don't know how to have fun.
So he's not.
They
wrong,
ruined the
though.
name.
Like they're trying to do a callback to the beginning, right, where the father and son are looking out at the view. That's cool.
So
But at the same time, yes, she should have gone to the road and followed the road back to civilization.
country road, take Charlotte home
Exactly.
to the place.
A wolf in the
Where I
background.
belong.
Like, oh shit.
Jeff. Jeff, here was my idea for the ending of that movie. They're standing there, they're looking out over the mountains, and all of a sudden another wolf man comes running from the side and tackles both of them to the ground.
Oh!
Holy fuck.
Blood
No, no.
squirts on the screen.
Perhaps it runs up and starts humping.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah, and then we get
Did you-
puppies.
Not with a child present.
Hey, they don't give a fuck.
I do.
Yeah, but wolves don't. You want this to... Dave wants this to be so real. Yeah.
Dave wants this. I didn't ask for the Wolfman to hump Charlotte in front of
You
her
would have
daughter.
explained it away, though.
One
This
when it
ain't
came
the
by,
Epstein
daughter.
Island version.
You ever fucked with an animal in the room? You don't have to answer that. But everybody
I
knows.
have, unfortunately.
Everybody knows whether you answer or
Almost got my
not.
dick bit off one time.
This is a weird episode. This is
Go
went
off the rails a little
places.
bit here.
This is went places. Who could have ever guessed? But Tim, I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
Like I said, the last thing I'm going to bring up was the ending shot, but I fucking lied. Efficiency of violence, which you brought up, but I wanted to know, when would you have killed this fucking werewolf? Whether it's the dad or Blake, what was the moment?
So
When was the best
Okay,
moment
so-
to get out of there?
for me, there's an animal on the road. I'm on a precarious road where there's trees either side of me. I'm gonna fucking hit that animal. There's no way I'm swerving that car to
That's,
and putting my kid in danger.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
That
let's
animal's dead.
time out.
Sound advice for you drivers.
You don't know there's an animal on the road. There's a person on the road. And if you tell me I'm going to hit that fucking person, okay, I'll accept that. It did not look like an old animal. It was bipedal. It looked like a person in that
Yep.
moment.
Fair,
So
fair.
if you
Again,
hit the person,
If my
Yeah.
kid is in the back seat and I have a cliff on one side of me and trees on the other side, I'm gonna brake as hard as I can.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna swerve off the road. There's no
That-
way.
fair enough. You say it's a person, you'll still plow it down instead of swerve.
I have to. I have
That's
to.
yeah.
That person means nothing to me.
That's the pill you got to
My kid means
swallow.
everything to me.
Exactly.
I know, and I hope you are right. But in the moment, sometimes your instinct
Right.
says,
You
Yeah.
want?
I can't
Yeah.
do that. But I hope you're right, and I give you credit for that. And I've said that since the first time I watched this movie.
Yeah.
Somebody's in the fucking road. Animals. I hate. It makes me feel bad in my soul if I hit a fucking cat or a squirrel. Or
I hit a
fucking
tall
I don't-
possum once, and
I
it broke
don't feel
my
bad about
heart.
hitting a bird. The government can buy new ones. But anything else, I feel bad when I hit it. But I will hit it before I swerve because it is
You-
dangerous. So
Amen.
I just
Amen.
wanted you to say if it was a human,
Yeah. I
Even-
mean, there's just
yes,
I
I'm gonna
can't.
hit
I
that, but
can't.
it's
Like
right.
not with my kid in the car. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was by myself, that's one thing. But
And that kind
With
of
my
would
kid in the
solved
car?
all their problems.
yeah. for sure.
If that's what
It would
kill,
kill 'em.
if that's what could kill a wolf in this. I mean, we know a wolf can kill a wolf, but can a truck kill a wolf, or does it got to be a silver bullet?
we don't.
We don't
No,
know.
we don't. There's
We
no
don't know.
silver bullets in this movie.
Yeah.
That's not the lore here.
But we're gonna use that as a
Uh,
title.
They made a big deal about nobody ever says the word werewolf in this movie. That's okay. That means less to me than a movie that's like nobody ever says the word zombie, even though there's 15 million zombies.
Yeah,
If there's 15 million zombies, I'm saying the word zombie.
it's part of the
There's only one
culture.
werewolf.
That's just
I
what you
might
say.
Not say wolf.
Yeah.
You're telling me your
Guys, if the
culture
zombie-
doesn't
if the
have
zombie
words for those? Give me a break.
If the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm gonna say Zeds to be cool.
You're gonna
Alright, so
piss
if you
me
guys could
off,
jump on the
brother.
Zeds
Don't do
train-
that. Don't do that.
You're biting us.
I'm gonna call them mutters.
Mutters is cool.
Kind of is. That was.
I'll call them mutters.
I thought you were gonna be like,
Uh,
that's a little bit on the. That's a little too much. But yeah, Mutters.
Jeff, what's your cool word in the zombie apocalypse? What are you calling the zombies?
Look at them mutters.
Oh,
Horror?
God.
Or you just gonna go zombies. Or undead.
Are you gonna call
Will you
Angie's?
You can't, Dave. We can't do that. We're gonna get fucking sued.
Shit.
Dave's gone.
Dave's gone. He just left. He fucking lit the fire and ran.
Such a Dave move. He's like Batman, but with chaos.
The Batman who laughs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it
Dave
safe to be
slideshow.
His computer is struggling.
So, yeah, the
No, just
it was pretty good slideshow.
My computer's popping and locking.
Yeah.
The
You don't have to do that. It does it for you.
the only other time that I feel like they could have, they still would have had to kill Blake, right? But the only other time they could have is when they had the arm through the doggy door.
Mhm.
They definitely could have dragged that motherfucker through at least to his shoulders. Can't tell it. I don't think Dave is doing that on purpose. I think he is frozen. Okay, he's back.
Dave has some control over the freezing sometimes. You gotta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's.
But I think they could have dragged him through the doggy door a little bit and kind of got the throat. So,
What if?
They didn't even know what they were dealing with at the time. Like,
What if that's where he
was it
got
gonna go
bit?
away If it couldn't get them initially, would it got
That
away?
would have done a little bit for me if that's where he eventually got bit.
So, okay, I see that.
yeah.
Lee Winnell actually said that he took some inspiration from another great movie I know I love. I know
Goosebumps.
Chris loves. I don't know how Jeff and Tim feel about or Dog Soldiers.
Oh.
In Dog Soldiers, it's a military group
Hold
that
on.
are
Don't go too
held
much.
up in a
Don't go too
farmhouse
much. That may be a
defending
movie.
the heart.
Don't go too hard.
Defending the farmhouse
Yeah.
from werewolves.
Yeah.
That you
Irish?
later find out- it's a
Scottish?
small- that you later find out that the werewolves are actually a family. It's their farmhouse.
We may do that. We may do that. Is it Irish or Scottish? Do you remember?
I thought it was Irish,
Yeah. It's
British
a
even. It's
it's an interesting movie. I think we could do like a double. That'd be a great double feature with Ginger Snaps.
I
Are we
love some werewolf movies, and before this came out, like Stella and I were talking last
Yeah, I
year,
used
like
to
we
too.
need some good werewolf movies.
Are we ready for our overalls, boys? How we feeling? Any other points you want to bring up?
Anything else I wanted to bring up?
I would. What's that, Jeff?
we're not gonna sing "Come On, Eileen," are we?
We
It's
could.
over.
We could.
I don't even know her.
What's that Australian beat? Like, somebody get Eileen a towel on the radio, and the woman co-host is like, "Shut your fucking mouth! Shut your cunt-ass mouth!" Sorry.
All I want to say before we rate this is that this movie made me super fucking sad. Because it's like, this dude was a great dad. Evidenced by his daughter's love, and then, like, he doesn't get to go home. And that just makes me fucking sad. I didn't like
You
I didn't-
emotional bitch.
Dude, I was
Pulls at the heartstrings, man.
weeping at the end of this film last night. I watched it last night. I
Oh
was
man, this
weeping at
is
the end.
gonna turn some people against old Chris.
Oh,
Thank God.
I have one more question, or
Okay.
really, it's maybe not a question, but a what if? What if the daughter really is psychic? So I
Come on,
thought this
brother.
a couple times.
Come on, brother.
Maybe not on my first watch, and it doesn't really play much into this movie, but I thought if you really, Lee Winnell seems like he's putting together his own version of fucking Dark Universe. What if she is some kind of fucking psychic?
She's gonna be the next Firestarter movie.
I'm in.
We don't
Son
got
of a
George
bitch, I'm
just.
in. I thought she did really great. Child actors are sometimes very not good.
Amen.
But I thought she did great.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Better moments, I can agree.
She was the anchor of the movie for sure.
I don't go that far.
They took out the gypsies out of the original movie and put it all on the daughter.
Yeah.
We don't say gypsies anymore. They're Romanian nomads.
Hey, they put it in a movie. We got to call them what they did.
1934, they were. Sorry.
Yeah.
The 1934, the original Wolfman. Clearly, I've seen clips and pictures, but this week was the first time I actually watched that movie start to finish.
You've never seen the original Wolfman?
I had never seen it start to finish.
None of it. I mean, clips, but not like you've not like. Really? That's surprising to me. That's surprising to me.
I feel like the same thing. But actually, it was Stella, because I've got such an amazing wife. When she bought the Wolfman on Vudu, she bought the 3-pack that had the OG, the Guillermo del Toro, and this one. So I did watch all 3 this week, and it's interesting. It's definitely dated, because it's filmed in 1934, but it's set even prior to that. But it's interesting to have the Wolfman, this vicious beast of a Wolfman, who kills by strangling his victims. It's like,
you have canines, dog. Use them.
Yep. And then at the end, he actually kills his love interest. Spoiler alert for the 1934 fucking Wolfman. He kills the main chick, that is love interest, and then after he dies, she just gets up and she's okay. So I guess he didn't really kill her, but it's.
All right, fellas, let's get into this. He kills her.
You could be mistaken to think he bites her, but no, he just strangles her till she passes out. Maybe that's their thing.
Let's get into this. Let's get our final thoughts and rate this bitch. Dave, this was your pick this week.
Was.
And I kind of felt this coming once you first talked about it, honestly. So, Mr. Jeff, start us off. Are you going to break Dave's heart, or are you going to be in a brawl in the streets with me and Dave? Which way is it looking?
Not be a brawl.
No brawls.
No brawls. No, I like the movie. I like the effects of it. I like the storyline.
Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Ha!
Like, I was really hoping for. I mean, I was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I was really hoping for something a bit different. I was hoping for, like, what Chris was talking about, a little more suspense, low builds. I did feel like they did jump into the action kind of quick, and then they go back into building up intensity and stuff in it. But I was hoping to be a little bit different than what it was, and it ended kind of the way I thought it was going to end, you know. So it's like he wasn't completely wolf out yet. Like, he's still somewhat, you know, there. So it's like one of those things, like, you don't really know how it was going to go. Like, is he going to be completely gone, or is he going to get to that point again where he sees his family and then kind of try to control himself and stop?
Right.
So he's not like his dad, who's been out there for years. I mean, at the beginning they said that, you know, they finally announced that he was, you know, dead, but what is that, like 5-7 years?
Yeah.
You have to wait until that goes through. So I'd give the movie a 5.5.
5.5.
Broke my heart a little bit.
Still just a little bit higher than average. 0.5 more than average. Dave's not going to fight you in the streets.
I'm pouring another drink, so let's see how long the after
Oh
part
my
of the
gosh.
show goes. I might fight all of you.
Dave, you're so big, man. Please.
Yeah.
I'm soft.
Yeah.
Tim.
What did you rate it? And remember, I determine if you're in the will or not.
Okay.
That's stacking the deck in your favor, my friend. Respect.
I don't own anything of value.
You see that Leatherface? I want that Leatherface.
Collection.
I want that Leatherface standee.
What assets
That's
do you
the most-
have that I want?
Yeah.
The 6 foot 2 inch tall Michael Myers standee is the most valuable thing I own.
I love that Leatherface. Can I have the Leatherface, Dave?
I also have a Chucky standee that is like 2.5 feet tall.
That's not for me.
That's awesome.
That's Jeff's. I'll take Leatherface. Tim gets Michael Myers. Jeff gets Chucky.
I don't
None
want
of you
Myers.
want my Hot Wheels collection? I have some really cool. I have some red lines.
I don't know what that means.
There's special collector items, Hot Wheels that 1 out of every 1,000 of some versions of cars that they put out that are unique to each year are red lines, which are more valuable. So instead of 50 cents, they're worth $1.50 if you hold on to them for 20 years.
There you go.
That's like a 0.01% return, baby. That sounds slightly better than 90s
I
baseball
paid
cards.
$3 for them brand new. So yeah, I've lost money on this investment.
Oh, Tim, what is your overall rating?
I'm hoping that there are huge tariffs on Hot Wheels, so mine will become more valuable.
There you go.
Sound ideas. Tim, hit us with your overall opinion.
Yeah, so I thought the movie was a little too pretentious with the themes. They try to do
You're
too many.
pretentious.
I know. They try to do too many themes at once. They try to do the father-daughter theme. They try to do the arranged marriage theme. They try to do the father-son theme.
You're a marriage.
A lot of themes. Yeah, there's a lot of themes going on, and they didn't coalesce as well as I think they probably could have. The movie probably should have ran for another 30 minutes or so. The scariness of it wasn't that scary. The unsettlingness of it wasn't that unsettling. The hardest moments for me were the emotional moments where it was like the daughter says he's ready to go and stuff like that. Like that, those were the hardest parts for me. But that's not mutually exclusive to horror, right? That can be a drama movie. So like as far as a horror movie goes, I know they were going for like a kind of elevated horror. They were trying to go for more of the nuanced story rather than like gore and shit like that. I get that. But as far as a horror movie goes, it's like a 5. It's not great horror. It's a decent movie. Again, the themes are there. They give them their little mini arcs in the movie that they do. It's just, I think, too many themes, and they go too kind of hard in the paint with them during certain sections, and then kind of abandon them for the rest of the movie, which I don't love. So yeah, it's a weird amalgamation of themes. So yeah, as far as a horror movie goes, it's a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
From a 5.5 to a 5 we go. What will Chris rate? Only the fucking crystal ball knows.
Onto your order.
Oh
sir.
my God. Jeff, I know. If I could erase myself right now, I would. That was a touch too much. But here we are anyways.
No, I've switched over to the Turkey 101.
Dave is on a different level than the rest of us. At first, I thought he was signing his will a different way. No. He was boxing in the streets. Well, will I go up from where we've been? Will I go down? It's anybody's guess.
I assume down.
It's
Dave's
hard
Dave's trying to be intimidating with his pen, so I'm gonna pull out a knife that I've been fidgeting with the entire time.
Fucking shit.
All right.
I have a lighter.
Run a pin to a knife fight.
You don't like that knife? I have this knife. A Tonto blade.
You know what? I have a knife always
Scissors
near
that
me
could
that I
cut a
stole
penny.
from my dad 20-something years ago. I just took it from him. I'm like, this is mine now. And he just accepted it. Speaking of father and son things.
Fun
I
fact,
did.
Chris, I keep one of your dad's knives in my drawer here, right next to me.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very cool.
Right here.
Oh, that looks like one of his knives. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, that makes it very much harder to rate this what I'm going to rate. But it's not that it's Wolfman in name that doesn't jive for me. It's not that it does or doesn't live up to the original. I mean, I feel like we can look past that. We all kind of look past that and look at it as its own movie. You know, it could be named Dog Man or Man Dog. And the four of us would still kind of go into this movie with the same kind of goal to see, is this a good movie? It's not that it's a remake, or I mean, a remake's a harsh word for this. Really, it doesn't make sense. Because it's not a remake. It's not telling the same story as, 1930s Wolfman. But the bottom line to me is this efficient horror? Is this telling a story that I can get scared by, or that provides something emotionally that means something in the whole grand scheme of things for me? And it just does not. To me, Dave, please don't come at me. But to me, this movie just does not. Hold on. Let's look at that face one more time. But to me, this movie just does not bring the creativity. It is like there is no creativity being flexed in any department in this movie. There is no redemption here for me. I'm gonna go hard now, Dave, because you've created this monster. Could I name a couple good things in this movie? Sure I could. They probably used good cameras. There was probably somebody nice on set one day. Those are good things. I'm glad Tim laughed so hard at that. That makes me feel fulfilled in life.
It's funny.
But unfortunately, that's about it. I think it's half-baked ideas rolled into half-baked other ideas that's rolled into a half-baked Wolfman design and makeup. And what does that equal? Well, listen, brother, you could come at me with 3/4 of attempt of an argument, but I'm going to come at you with 1/2 of an attempt at a counter argument. And then we're going to get in a tussle, and you got 30 seconds of a chance to get out of this tussle. And I'm going to give you 1 in 1,000th chance to read the Bible to me before we both die by the nuclear bomb that I have just built in my basement. Okay. I am
Down a
offended.
number, yes,
I am
well,
offended that Lee Winnell wrote and directed this. Not because I like his work, because I mean, Saw 1's cool. Sure, I'll give him that. But you were too stupid to realize how fucking bad it was and fix it when you had the chance, Lee Winnell. You could have fixed this. This has problems from the fucking basement up, brother. Once you started pouring that concrete, it was sour. It was sour. You wanted 7 movies at once and were, in all 7 movies, afraid to make a werewolf movie. I'm sad for you. I'm sad for you, Lee. Damn. Damn. 2 out of 10.
You say?
2 out of 10.
What? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, you guys are.
Now,
maniacs
now
here.
Dave's gonna rate it a 15 out of 10 to counteract me.
I gotta
Can't do
adjust
it.
my scores to compensate.
Can't do it.
All right, here we
Oops.
go.
All right,
You
Dave.
tell me there's too many
Rid-
themes, but you tell me the themes are the marriage, the father-daughter, the father-son,
That's so scary.
the mom and son. That's one theme. That's family. That's not multiple themes. The Jeffersons, nobody ever said there's too many themes going on in the Jeffersons. It's
Because
family.
they have 70 fucking episodes.
I didn't say themes. I said movies, brother.
Fucking family.
Go on.
No creativity. Oh, I guess that's why all the people on the fucking idiots on the internet are saying, this don't look like no Wolfman I ever seen before. This is too creative.
I never read that once.
I guess that's why there's no creativity, because it's the most creative Wolfman movie yet. I guess I'm the only one in the horror house that likes movies that get into the fucking horror and don't slow burn for 45 minutes before they give you 20 minutes of action. We got some action spaced out. We got some things going on. We got some emotional depth. Apparently, I'm the only one in touch with my emotions, with my heart. I rate a movie with my heart. Get your brain heart out. Get your dick heart out. Use your heart. And creativity, Chris, there's no creativity. Did you see Charlotte's hair? Did you see that bitch's hair? That's some creative fucking hair. You ain't never seen hair like that in James County, I promise. Except from maybe Jethro down at the Swifty. And gas for
We don't have Swifties no more. Continue.
I like this movie. I liked it in theaters, and it's Midsommar'd on me, where I've liked it more over time.
How many times have you watched this? Would you guess?
It just came out in January, so
Yeah.
not very many. 8.
Woo! Fuck, brother.
It's dark enough, so it meets Stella's parameters for let's go to sleep watching a movie. It's dark. I know what's going on with the sound low. It's not got these, like, I hate a movie to go to sleep to. I hate a movie where the volume is here and then here and then here.
Yeah.
Because you can't adjust the volume where you get the white noise without getting the fucking wake you up volumes. So it's very well scored. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful shots. I think that if we shit on movies that are made with practical effects, we're just gonna get more CG effects. And the effects are practical. I think it's worth supporting. You don't want to support practical effects, that's okay. I know you like
You're
you
going,
like movies
you're
that
going
are
hard in the
100%
paint.
CG. You like movies that are 100% CG, Chris. That's just who you are.
That's not what he said.
That's
You're
who you are as a person.
You're disappointing,
you.
Jeff.
It's like, I don't like Michael Jordan because he's a womanizer and cheats on his wife all the time. You don't like Hall of Fame basketball players. That's what you're saying. That's not what
I
you're saying.
heard-
You don't like the
I
Golden
heard-
State Warriors?
I heard the words come out of his mouth. I don't like practical effects. I heard him say that tonight. So,
Rabble,
I'm
clips
glad
and stuff.
that y'all, for the people who tuned in tonight to the last episode of the Horror House podcast, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Woof,
Next
woof.
week, I'm going to be in jail for fighting my 3 best friends in the street.
It'll just be county. You'll get out soon. It'll be fine.
3 different streets. They're gonna. What's your fucking rating?
3 different friends, 3 different streets. I will go to jail for that because I'm not married to you. In James County, if I was married to you, if I in the street, I don't go to jail. I get a reward.
Plus the DUI.
Plus gay marriage. They ain't gonna take that. What is your rating?
18.
1,000.
I wrote my rating down
I know you did.
before we did the show.
I know you did.
Because I was afraid you guys would shit on this movie, and I didn't want to be influenced by your shitting on.
I appreciate that.
So I wrote my rating down.
32 out of 10.
And if anything, I wanted to bump it up. I'd counteract a fucking 2.
A 2.
So, put your hand on a copy of The Death of Superman and raise your right hand in the air and tell me, I, Chris, solemnly swear that I stand by a 2, rating this movie lower than The Shortcut.
I rate this lower than The Shortcut.
Do you think it's worse than Jack Frost?
Yes.
Oh shit!
This is maybe my least favorite movie we have ever watched on this show. And the fact that I have the entire library of this arc right in front of me at all times has finally paid off.
That is kind of dope. That you had it within arm's reach of you.
Dave, how do you feel right now?
Flabbergasted.
I can't even explain where
But
my
this
emotions
is
are
pretty
right now.
cool, right? This is pretty cool, right?
It's dope.
The fact that I asked you to swear on that and you had it, and I had no prior knowledge.
Can I let you in on another
Ginger
secret?
The psychic, or are you the psychic?
Can I let you in on one more secret? Stick around. We'll wait to that. Let's get Dave's rating first.
What you got, Dave?
What's your rating? What's your honest to
I-
you rating?
Honest rating. If coming out of the theater, I probably would have said this was about a 6 for me. I mean it. It has midsomarred on me. I've watched it several times.
Okay.
It has grown on me. I enjoy the effects. I enjoy the emotional storytelling. I'm not going to watch a drama. I just can't. I can't sit down and say, watch this family drama. I'm not going to do that. It's not for me. But I do like emotional catharsis, and this is a very emotional movie. It means a lot to me because, like I trauma dumped earlier, I struggle with communication with my father. Sometimes I have my youngest brother. I'm the oldest of 4. My youngest brother told my dad, I'll see you in 2027 because I am not going to talk to you in 2026 because I cannot talk to you based on who each voted for in the November election last year. I'm not ready to cut people off like that. But I do struggle because it's not just who you voted for. I feel like we have a difference in values, a difference. We're no longer can discuss politics, facts, because we have a lot of people in this country who don't even care what the facts are. They say fuck your feelings, but everything they do is based on their gut feelings and not on fact. So it's very hard. So this movie means a lot to me, I think, because of that. I also like it. I think the effects are really cool. I think I let you guys know, like, after watching it, the wolf vision, especially that one that cuts from Charlotte vision to Blake Vision and back to Charlotte Vision. I love it. I hope when a filmmaker like Lee Winnell can do these things practically, that more filmmakers will say, hey, if he can do it practically, I'm going to do shit practically. So I really hope for that. Outside of that, like I said, I really like this. It's growing on me. Wrap it up real quick. I gave it an 8. I went back to The Good Son. I gave a 7. Twilight Zone the movie, I gave a 7. Totally Killer, I did go 5.5. Demon Disorder, 7. Fried Berry, I said 7.
All right.
The Substance, I said 8.5. I went just a tiny bit lower than that.
Dave, I really feel like this is like at least an 8.5, if not a 9 for you.
You've defended the life out of this movie.
I went 8 because I do feel Substance was a little bit better. One, titties.
Old woman ass. I can understand. I
love me a mature ass. So I'm sorry.
Well, that's how we do around here. That's how we do.
Yeah. Not afraid to admit I eat ass from the back.
Oh my fucking God.
Waited until he come back to bring that comment. You're
God,
welcome.
if you fight me in the streets, I hope you fucking kill me. I hope you just kill me.
Okay, Jeff. Question for Jeff. Jeff. And we can ask Jenny to verify. Do you eat ass?
Motherfucker, Dave.
Yes. Yes.
We're getting yeses now. Jeff, you're on my side. Fucking God.
Best.
This is like
sequence, best 30-second sequence of the show has ever had.
If you only knew what I was doing before this fucking 2-minute sequence of just railing on fucking Chris censorship, I lost my microphone input and then lost my headphone input while I was trying to fix my microphone input. So I didn't even know. Oh yeah, right. I'm stressing, bro.
Calm down.
I gotta do some maths, man. What am I doing? I gotta do some maths.
So let me tell you while you're talking about while you're averaging.
5.
For one, I also had a father that was very pro. But right before.
Are you saying your dad ate ass? Average score 5.1.
I'm giving it a negative 40 out of 10.
Too late.
What'd you say it was? A negative, a what?
5.1.
5.1.
Average of 5.1. 5.125 to be exact, but 5.1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are saying 5 is average.
I didn't say it because I didn't want to skew anything. As a movie, I'd rate this a 7. As a horror movie, I rated it a 5. Horror movie, it didn't have. It wasn't there for me. It was doing too much drama, not enough horror for me. So I enjoyed the movie. I really liked it. It made me feel things, which is what any movie should do, right? Any storytelling medium should do is make you feel something.
It touched you.
Definitely felt something.
Deep inside.
Yeah, no, it definitely ate my ass for sure.
From the back.
But the
fucking kill me. Fucking strangle me in the bathroom, brother.
No, it's not a great horror movie in my opinion. It's more of a drama, and they're definitely leaning more towards the drama and the storytelling.
I don't even agree with that.
This had the allotted time to make it a good horror movie. With how much drama they were trying to.
How much more time do you think they needed? In your opinion?
This should have been like a mini series. Honestly, like 8 hours.
If you guys had made me watch a mini series of this, I would have ran the fuck away to Guantanamo Bay.
there's way more emotional depth and way more horror and way more goodness than Bly fucking Manor.
Okay, my wife will fight you. So Dave's fighting my wife tonight. That's fine. And she will kick your ass.
I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker.
You guys are talking about this father-son dynamic. Like I was saying, very similar to Dave. My dad was very much a red hat. But before even all of that could really get into motion, I got to be like, okay, well, I'll catch you on the next one. And then since then, a lot of this kind of stuff it don't do. So, cause it just, I'm like, this, you got yelled at by your dad now 30 years later, like fucking buck up, Buttercup. Like that's the worst you had. Blake, come on, baby. Like I don't, it doesn't mean anything. It don't work. It don't work.
He's doing his best. He was a good dad. He was a good dad.
He was, I mean, they could have maybe portrayed that in a better script if Lee Winnell hadn't been in charge. But he was. So we got Saw 3 level cinematography and writing and story and effects and
okay.
I guess some people are just
good.
Some people just picked up on the idea that Blake was not Grant was not a bad dad. He was doing the best
he was a dad. When you do bad things, your dad yells at you or your mom yells at you. It's like, get off that fucking fire. Oh, I'm not going to talk to you for 30 years. No. Get a job, Blake.
My dad told me not to eat poisonous mushrooms, and now I'm mad at him.
That's a very Republican way of explaining that.
Also, I have a granddaughter named Charlotte who loves Bluey. And so by
Bluey
them...
is dope.
Bluey is dope. But there is some weirdness to Bluey, too. We'll maybe...
No, definitely the mom is cheating on the dad. We're all aware of that.
Oh, there's some neighbor shenanigans as well.
Yeah, for sure. Neighbor shenanigans for sure. Anyone who watches Bluey, just know that, not Bingo. What's the mom's name?
I don't know the mom's name. I know and Bingo is the friend.
Bingo's the daughter.
Oh, daughter friend. Yes.
Bingo and Bluey. Queenie. Yeah,
no, I don't know. I really don't know. I have never watched.
Jeff says no, not at all.
Bluey.
No, what's the mom's name, Jeff?
Can't think
We're in the post show now.
Old, set in my ways, gender assuming ass assumed because the main character's name is Bluey. That must be a boy.
Chili.
It's a girl.
Chili.
Yeah, I know. I stand corrected. I know I'm wrong now.
Oh, okay.
But I did not know at first when Bluey. That sounds like a boy's name.
Yeah. No, it's
Dave.
It's a great show.
Since you're admitting, you're admitting sometimes you can be wrong. Sometimes we can all be wrong. Sing "Arms of an Angel" for me, real quick.
In the arms of
now would be a great time, Dave, to revise your score for the Wolfman to maybe something below 4.
Mr. Jones and me. Stare at the beautiful women.
Mr. Jones and me?
You're right, Chris. I will stand corrected. I will adjust my score.
No, it's 9. It's too late.
9?
It's too late. This Chris don't know how to type no more. Speaking of which, hopefully these are the proper scores. Give me a Doom Asylum.
Up to 200 degrees Celsius right now.
Give me a Doom Asylum.
101. Wild turkey is just going everywhere, and it's like, let's heat this shit up. I'm about to flame on you motherfuckers.
I'm gonna do a Dave impression real quick. They live, brother. Where'd my glasses go?
I'm about to do my own Dave. They live impression.
That's fair. That's fair.
If I can't
but hey, one of the bright things I can say about
We got through the
Wolfman.
movie.
Yeah, we got through it. We had some good laughs. Whether we all agreed on it or not, is beside the point.
Keep it going. I gotta pee.
Dave's going to lose his glasses right now.
I think this is a movie that people should watch to to kind of gauge what their interests in horror are, right? Like
I wouldn't put this in the top 100 that I would present a new horror fan.
I would. Yeah, I'm not as hardcore of a horror fan as you, right? So I would present this to someone and be like, hey, like, if you like this sort of thing, you'll probably like Babadook and Hereditary. And Chris, I know you fucking love Hereditary. I fucking hate that movie. So, but these like more like emotional, sort of like less hoary, more suspense movies that are still horror movies. This would be a good precursor for that, because it just has those horror like jump scare elements. They're very far and few between, but they're there. So I think it's a good kind of precursor to like what kind of horror movies you would like as a person. I think it's good for that.
Jeff, what do you think? What do you think of? Is this a good medium to be like, which direction do you go with horror?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a bad choice. I mean, it's not overly horrific, not overly gory. I mean, it's a good place to start.
It's a good starter horror movie. Like it's not super scary. It's not super tense.
I'd say this is. I'll counter your argument and say this is a good place to end. Because I was like, do I have rope in the garage?
No.
Do I have gasoline ready to go at the drop of this fucking credits? Because I'm done.
Here at the Whorehouse Podcast, we don't condone self-harm.
I do.
But no, I think it's a great starting point for any viewer that wants to see where they wanted to go with horror, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if this is what brings you into horror, I ain't gonna hate on it. I didn't like it though, so
yeah, no, like
get your bag, baby.
If I hadn't watched this movie, I'd been like, Cuckoo is a good one, right? It's not super scary.
Yeah.
It's got some great scary parts, but it's not super duper scary.
Yeah.
But this is like super middle of the road. Because again, it tries to do so much. And
the dirt road, meaning a butthole.
Right, it eats ass. It for sure eats ass.
Not from the back, from the side, from the side, from the side. Jeff knows.
Dave lost his glasses.
This a bit. This a hard bit.
It's just a bit. It's just a bit. So that was a very treacherous fucking 15 feet to the bathroom. That
seemed pretty hardcore.
There was a couple times.
You're drinking more Turkey 101.
Dave, can I bend the curtain back for? Maybe we should end the show.
I think it's about that time.
It is about that time. My wife may donkey punch me if we don't end this in the next couple minutes. So listen, we don't kink shame here.
She's going dock and punch you. What's a dock and punch?
Donkey punch.
Oh, donkey punch.
That's when you semen and then punch him in the back of the head.
Hey, all.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the reaction. Hopefully it's not lawsuit.
That's better than.
I'm wearing a red hat. I'm safe. No, that's a little too much.
Room temperature wild turkey.
We were actually having a productive discussion till you got back, Dave. And Tim was sorry. No, you're not sorry. I'm just telling you. Tim was saying this is a good middle of the road, gauge which direction you want to go. This may be a good introduction to horror. I don't agree. But he said
I
that.
actually don't agree either. Because I think an introduction to horror should be a little funner. This movie's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's a little.
I cried at the end of this movie, so it's not fun. But I thought that
I
it
did
was
for different reasons.
The perfect sort of meld of like dramatic and horror. So like if you like the more dramatic shit, there's a whole genre of horror movies that follow that whole thing. And I was telling Chris, like, if I hadn't watched this movie, I would say Cuckoo is like a great version of this, right? Like lots of suspense and there's good horror too. Cuckoo is a better movie than this, in my opinion. A better overall movie in general. I love the themes. The themes are pretty spot on. Honestly, there's like 2 themes in that movie, and they follow them both very well. But this kind of covers the whole gamut, in my opinion. So I like this as like an introductory to horror. Like, and it also suspends the reality that you're going to have a good time watching horror. Like, so that's a good counter argument to your argument, Dave, is like, you're not going to have good fuzzy feelings after this. And you really shouldn't have good fuzzy feelings after horror in general. So,
Hold on, bro.
That's a good, I think it's a really good introductory to horror. And it's, I mean, Dawn of the Dead remake, especially because I fucking love it so much, up here. And then like,
Right.
you got like,
I agree. Dawn of the Dead remake is action, not horror.
For sure. And then you have like Babadook down here, which is
horror?
fucking trash.
I agree. Babadook is great.
It's, oh my god. If you think okay, we're done. I'm done talking. But
Let's end this fucking show already. Jeff, give the people what they want. Let them know the final word.
Good night, everybody.
Let's get that salute one more time, Jeff. See you next time. Dave, actually, since it was your episode and you love this movie more than really life itself, go ahead, give the people what they want. Send them off happy. This is you, brother.
I really thought your guys' biggest complaint would be the design of the creatures. I don't have a problem where Jeff and Tim rated this movie. Some other people, maybe that's nonsense. But obviously they rated with their wolf vision going because they couldn't quite figure out what the numbers meant. They thought 2 was a good number and it's not. It is a good movie. It's emotional. This is different than a slasher where you're just rooting for a high body count. This is different than a paranormal, religious, occult type of thing where it chills you to your bone. Am I going in? It's something different, but I do like it. I know we haven't done the Lee Winnell Invisible Woman, but I'd like that too, but I thought this was better.
There's no Invisible Woman.
I guess maybe at some point in the future we'll do that, see where that is. I also like Nosferatu, and I think we're gonna. Did I pick Nosferatu?
You absolutely did. You absolutely did. That's your next pick.
So we'll kind of see where we're at with another modern telling, even though it's not a modern setting, of a classic Universal monster. And this one from Robert Eggers, who I think Chris really like shit that Robert Eggers does. It's got he's a different vibe. So you can feel the Lee Winnell-ness in this. I will admit this, that you can feel the Lee Winnell-ness in this. I actually think this is his deepest movie, because the Saw movies are not very deep, I don't feel like. So I think this is his deepest movie, although the themes of domestic violence that we see in The Invisible Invisible Man, you could be forgiven for thinking those themes are in here, but I don't think they are. I don't think it's Blake as an abusive husband. I don't think that's a theme in this movie.
No.
Send us home, Dave. Let's get out. I got to pee so bad, brother. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, Live Fast, Live Hard. I hope all of you have the day you deserve. Look, call to action. Please, we're trying to do good shit for you guys. So please, like, subscribe, comment. Those things really help so much. I always thought it was bullshit when fucking creators did that shit in YouTube when I was just a
Makes
YouTube
the difference.
watcher.
It makes the difference.
It really does, because it lets you know that somebody actually likes what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're in this fucking nebulous void. And in most videos, most things on YouTube, most content created stuff, only about 15% of people actually engage with that in some way, whether it's a like or a dislike, or I'd rather see almost a dislike than nothing, because at least it gives us some kind of fucking feedback. But
speaking
subscribe
of which, we are in the first dislike club, which is to me pretty impressive, because we've went a whole year posting on YouTube and finally got our first dislike for our Horror Hound video, which is bananas. That one? That's the one you're gonna dislike? Okay.
So get on when you see our shit. Comment. Let us know what you want. Do you need more consistent videos? Do you want to see something specific? Do you want to see us drop the news, or do you like the news? Do we ramble on too much at the end? Do we drink too much? If so, fuck you. So let us know. Just let us know. I don't know. Put a fucking comment and put a fucking raccoon gif in the comments. I don't care. But
we're
please
impressionable young men.
Yeah,
we'll change for you.
You see these sunglasses? I'm so young.
If you put a raccoon gif in the comments, then on the following week I will bring raccoon news. I will scour the fucking web for raccoon news if that's what you want.
Dave, end it. End the whole shit right now. Your final words. This is all you. It's all you.
Have the day you deserve and stay fucking creepy.